Let's continue with more our chats this morning for the start of the show. Juandré van Eck is an honors student from the Nelson Mandela University in Gqeberha and has been announced as the winner of the 2025 Sasol New Signatures Visual Arts Competition for his ceramic piece, which was called Cycles of the Mind. Now, his ceramic artwork emulates the rhythmic patterns of breath. This artwork really just aims to be a metaphor for the cycles of the mind as well. He's going to be joining us virtually to share a little bit more about his work. Juandré, a very good morning on that note and a hearty congratulations. Thank you for joining us at this hour.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Okay, you still have your humility. This is great to hear. Thank you for joining us and congrats, as I mentioned. So it's a big feat, right? Sasol New Signatures Art Competition. You're the winner. How are you basking in that moment? I mean, the work that goes into all of this after also being selected. Tell us about that, especially because you were selected in the top 7 2 years running. How did that prepare you?
Yeah. I think the first year being top 7 actually helped me to, I think, calm down and be able to keep my sanity when I won. But honestly, I think the best part of it is knowing all I have to do is just continue making the artwork I love, and so I don't feel the pressure of actually making my work for the solo exhibition. So yeah, it's actually, I think Sasol has helped a lot with me just accepting and becoming an artist, because that's a strange thing these days to call yourself an artist. So it's nice to be confidently calling yourself that.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that honesty and vulnerability, and thank you for accepting your fate, because this is what we need in this world. And now you've obviously been recognized for it, and it's going to open so many doors for you in terms of what this merit, could open for you, particularly as an honors student as well, or with an honors degree. Tell us a little bit more about what your future plans and also look like, and where to from here as well.
So yes, I am planning to do my master's studies next year, whilst I'm actually doing the work for the solo exhibition, because my end goal is actually to end up in a position of teaching, or for example, like university or schools, because I think art is one of those things that we need to put effort into, and we need to share the art making process. For me personally, art's been very healing to do, so I would like to actually continue sharing art with others so they can also enjoy centering the mind, calming down, getting out of the rush of life, and really just enjoy the moment. So for my future, obviously, I want to become a professional artist. So for that, I need to keep on building my skills. I need to keep on improving, even a small thing like my personality. I think I'm having to lose my shyness. I don't really have a choice. So it's quite nice, and I think this special competition is really been developing me as a person as a whole.
Beautiful. It really just reminds us that the process is the purpose. And also thank you for speaking to how it brings you a sense of calm and clarity, right? And because you emulate that comes across in your work, even just emulating the rhythms of breath. I mean, breath is life, and sometimes it can be shallow given the rush of the day. But you really calm and, take us and slow us down. And so when you actually are in that creative process and you're trying to envision how to interpret this in your works, what does that process ultimately look like for you, day in, day out?
Day in, day out. When I start working in my discipline, ceramics, I am actually constantly in a conversation with the clay. So I do have a picture in my head, but I also have to be focused and listening to what the clay wants to be. Because as much as it's a process for myself, I do understand there is a bit of beauty in not being in control of everything. So in the morning when I get to studio, just being there and prepping, doing my prep work, that already gets me in the state of mind of really calming down and I'm being quite happy, because I'm quite blessed in my at my age to be able to be where I am. And yeah, there's a lot of responsibility in doing a solo. There's a lot of, but there's also a lot of fun. And what I'm trying to do is really break the seriousness around art and getting people to interact with my pieces. So every time I make a piece, one of the core things I'm always thinking about is, will people want to interact with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then from there, I just let the process happen.
Well, that process is taking you far and wide, and obviously we've managed to catch up to your greatness because you've now won this feat. And I wonder if we're looking at that solo exhibition that you spoke about. I mean, what's going to be going into that? Do you have an idea of what that is going to entail at this point, or are you still working on it? Where are you at?
Yeah, I do. But what I can say is the fun part about it is, regardless of the solo, I would have been making the same art. So the stress of that is at least not there. I can just enjoy the process and just make my body of work. So what I envision is actually a room full of my artwork and people interacting with that. Because it's very, very important for my work for people to interact. And I just see the soundscape of different pieces moving, sounds being made, they're blending and forming almost like a concert of sound. Because that's an environment you'll never be able to recreate. Because there's so many variables in all of these different pieces. So yeah, my biggest question still is to get the public to actually interact with my work. And yeah, so if anybody's listening and going to be at the exhibition, please know you can touch. It's definitely one of those things that I definitely want you to touch them.
Okay, all right. So also just if people want to interact with you and get in touch with your work, literally and figuratively, can you give us that details as well as we wrap up?
Yeah. I think you can just on my Instagram, it's just Juandré van Eck, and you'll be able to find me on Instagram. Yes.
Okay, you've reiterated that it is an interactive ceramic workpiece, and that is translated well into the 2025 Sasol New Signatures winner, Juandré van Eck. Thank you for your time and a hearty congratulations. So just wishing you all the best of luck. Of course, also ahead of your solo exhibition that comes as a result as well. Keep flying the flag.
Thank you.
All right, let's leave that conversation there. Juandré van Eck there joining us to chat about his new feat, the 2025 Sasol New Signatures winner, as I mentioned. We're going to leave that conversation there.